instead, what have you been called to cultivate? What gift? What skill? What ministry? What person? What environment were you called to? But because you messed up, because you made a mistake, because you had the wrong conversation, you sent the wrong text, you did the wrong thing. Okay, you did this, but instead of going to God, you settle into the shame. And you keep killing that thing that you're supposed to cultivate. What was it that you hold in your heart that nobody knows about? What secret do you hold so tightly to your chest for fear and shame that if it ever made the light of day, you can't even think about going on? What are you hiding behind that gift? What are you hiding behind that anointing? What are you hiding behind that ministry? What are you covering?
My God.
What are you covering?
Jesus, help us.
And we have to think that. We have to examine ourselves. What are we covering? That we should be cultivating, but instead we're covering these things in our shame, in our fear of who would find out. And the devil, he's a slick one. He wants you convinced that there's no way out. He wants you thinking that you have to keep hiding from God. But we know he's a liar. We know that. But I want you to understand, shame wants to keep you from worship. Shame wants to keep you hidden from a God who has always seen you.
Right.
Shame wants to keep you hidden from a God who has always loved you and always wanted you. Shame wants to keep you from it. Instead of having you walk out into the brightness of day, exposed and naked and saying, God, this is me. I don't know what happened. But I'm here, Lord. Help me figure it out. Why am I like this? I'm here. But instead, shame wants to keep you hidden. Come forth into the light when God is calling you, when he's walking in the garden looking for you, instead of hiding behind it. I'm here, God. I'm here. I messed up, but I'm here. I made my mistakes, but I'm here. I sent the wrong text, but I'm here. I had the wrong conversation with God. I am here, and I want you to fix this. What we see in the garden is that Adam and Eve tried to fix it themselves. And this is the problem. We can't ever hide from God. We cannot ever hide from God. There is no hiding from the presence of God.
Right.
He's in all places and time. He holds all knowledge at all times. And he exists outside of time. There is no hiding from God. That's what we see in 3 and 8. They couldn't hide themselves from God, though they tried, wrapped in leaves, hiding among the trees, hiding in a dead situation. But they couldn't ever hide from God. Instead, shame had them removing themselves from his will.
Wow.
And that's what we see here in Genesis 3 and 8. That it was the will of God to create man to be in relationship with him. And when Adam and Eve hid themselves from conversation, they hid themselves from worship, from communication with God, they removed themselves from his original intent, design, and will for their lives. They removed themselves. And this is why shame is so dangerous. Why it is one of the greatest traps of the enemy. Because shame will have us removing ourselves from the will of God. The devil doesn't even have to do it. If he can get us to be steeped in shame, then we'll do it to ourselves. He doesn't have to lift another finger. We get settled into our own shame and we will just step out of the will of God.
Jesus, self-sabotage. Jesus, right?
It is our self-sabotage.